Hi, welcome back to another weekend vlog. Today we are heading to another summer market, this time in Aylif. If you are new around here, I'm Veronica. I moved from the big city of London to a small town in the northeast of Scotland about 7.5 years ago. So on this channel you will find me exploring lots of new places in Scotland and essentially just living the life that I moved here to live. So today we originally had plans to go to Glamis Castle, which is very close, to see birds of prey, but we got the date wrong, and actually that was last weekend. So today we're going to the summer market instead, and depending on how time goes, we might actually go along to the Scottish Antique Centre, which is in Abernite. That's the plan today, and I will check back in with you when we get to the market. So we finished up at Aylif Market and we have just arrived at Scottish Antique Centre, which was about 30 minutes away from there. We haven't actually got anything in mind, just come here for a mosey. It is very, very warm and we are starting to get hungry, and we just ate 3 energy balls, power balls between us from Good Food, Good Feeling. She was at today's market as well, and actually there's quite a lot of crossover of businesses from the Barry box. We're going to pop into the Antique Centre and see what we can find. I love them, they're so cool. Because they can be framed. They're so cool. Imagine having like a gallery wall of this kind of stuff would be cool. Pam likes that one.
How cool this is.
Oh wow. Mayan. That's more me. Pisces, that's more me. And that's more you. Wowza. I would say this one is very colonial style. Beautiful piece of furniture. Very cool, but yeah, Pav's right, that doesn't really look like it goes here, to be honest. The rest is very kind of, yeah, but maybe it does, like gentleman's club-y. Wow, look at that detail. That's phenomenal. Yeah, little writing desk. And if you open that, it's kind of like an apothecary. Huge one. Very beautiful. This bit is much more kind of country, cottagey type stuff, and I love that. I've seen a few bits kind of like this on Vinted recently. I don't think much cheaper, to be honest.
Picture, yeah, it's cool.
There we go.
It's awesome frame.
We can agree. We had to come back to the car for snack break, so we found these. Not my usual thing, but mostly okay ingredients. And this, natural ingredients. So that's our power break before we go back in for round 2. This, I've been looking for one of these forever. I want the chicken. I love the chicken. That is really cool. I love that. 95, that's not bad.
No, that's really cheap.
That's really reasonable. There we are. Grandfather clocks. I love a grandfather clock. This one I love with so much detail.
That's the
Beautiful. And locally made. Dundee. That one was Montrose. Dalkeith. Of course you would find that.
The mallet is quite old, but
We are back home now from a Scottish Antique Centre. We didn't actually end up buying anything there, although we've got quite a few things on our wish list and we'll be back there in the near future. I just love the way that place is set up. You just find so many different corners and they're all set up like little kind of rooms, which I think is really cool. So I'll give you a bit of an overview of what we picked up at the market. We definitely will need to do our regular food shop at the Barry Bucks tomorrow, just for like veg and things like that throughout the week. But we've got some other staples that we would usually go to the supermarket for, so that's always handy. I always prefer finding alternatives to supermarkets. So yeah, let me show you what we got. You can see we didn't buy tons of stuff. Some familiar brands and a couple relatively newer ones. Junior knows that there's some good stuff up there. He absolutely loves courgettes. These chicken tins were not from the market. These are my new tins that I found on Vinted. I think I said that in the last video that I'm trying to do sort of like a deep organise and deep clean in this house, so everything is still kind of pulled out and in piles in different places, but I promise those piles are getting smaller and smaller. But yeah, I'm in the process of sourcing lots of organisational bits for this kitchen and different areas in the house. But anyway, I digress. So Arngask were there at this market too. So we bought some bacon again because we found that that was actually really gentle on our stomachs. So we got bacon from them. We got some rainbow chard, which I'm going to use in the meal tonight. We got some more eggs. Again, I need to use those tonight. And we got some, just 2 small courgettes. That was what we got from them today. Good food, good feeling. I think I mentioned in the car that we ate the power balls, and I also bought some of this Scottish style kimchi. Again, a lot of the stuff we're still making our way through in terms of the good food, good feeling. But it was really nice to see that business there again today. We also found a new farm, which is this one, Aberdeen Angus topside minute steak. So we had bought the Guardswell minute steak previously when we went to Little Trockery, and actually you can see this one's huge. It just says topside minute steak, so I'm assuming there's one fillet in there, but half of that one of those will do both of us, so that's really good. Again, really nice new discovery. So another brand that I'm familiar with is Peter Marshall's farm. They have a lot of soft fruits, and my local zero waste shop often stocks their fruits. So I'd actually, when I popped into the zero waste shop earlier, already picked up strawberries and raspberries, and when I saw them there I thought I'd grab some cherries. We also found Dunkeld smoked salmon. They didn't have any salmon fillets, they just had smoked salmon, but that was absolutely fine. We got a chance to speak to them. We were speaking about the difference between armed and wild salmon and what the guys were saying. Again, I don't know lots about that, so somebody might correct me if this is not accurate, but it's not that easy to get wild salmon in Scotland anymore. A lot of it is farmed, but there is a big difference in the quality of farmed and what's used. And basically, the guy who was manning the stall, he was telling us a lot about how selective they are with their smoked salmon. So we picked up some of this, which was relatively reasonable. We also picked up some local honey. So this maker is based in Letham, I believe. And we chose some set honey. They had heather honey, they had hot honey. They had a few different ones, but we picked up this one. Again, not a new brand to me, but it's nice to actually meet the makers or the beekeepers on the day-to-day. We also saw Tara's tea mantle, who
I featured on this channel before as well. As I featured, what I mean is I've shopped before at her stall. Interestingly enough, the lady whose business is that is also called Veronica. I already have some teas left of hers in the cupboard, so I wasn't needing any tea, but she does sell these syrups, which are really good for any time that you've got cough, feel like you've got a cold coming on, feeling a bit chesty. This is a good natural remedy. Another favourite is Little Birdies. We often use the decaf coffee, and we've still got some left, so we weren't in need of that, but we actually decided to pick up some chai tea. And the reason we actually went for chai tea is because we'd seen this matcha, and she had this vanilla matcha, and she also had chai matcha. So we opted to get the vanilla matcha and the chai, just regular chai tea instead. Another firm favourite is Hemp It Up. I didn't need any of the other bits. I've still got oil left and I've still got hemp heart, so I wasn't needing those. But I decided to pick these dog bones up because hemp is really good for dogs' joints, and you can see, hang on a minute, you can see a very eager puppy here. Junior will very much enjoy those, and as an older dog, I'm always looking for joint healthy things for him. So you can see protein rich omega-3 dog treats. So yeah, that will be a really good one for my dogs. Just if you are curious, Junior is 15 and Daphne is 7, so both of my dogs are not particularly young, so these are the ages where their joints are really precious. So even in treats, I'm looking for the kind of most nutritious possible. I always look at natural ingredients, but this is the time in life where they really need omega-3 and joint healthy products. I also found, I say found, I have shopped from this store before. There was somebody there who had lots of dairy products, and I was incredibly pleased to see goats. So there was some of this soft goat's cheese. So this is the one that's got the casing and it's gooey in the middle. Really handy, and you can see this is huge. You can see the weight there and you can see the price. That is really good value for money for that. And goat's butter, again, really good amount of butter for that price. Really happy to find that. And some hard goat's cheese. So these are all things that I would usually purchase in the supermarket, so I'm always glad to find an alternative. And actually it might be providing me with a long-term alternative because this producer is often at markets, and I can actually order and pick it up from the markets if they know in advance what I want. So that's a really good find. You can hear that my cooker is calling me, so I need to get on with dinner, but that is everything we picked up. Right, sit. Dewey, sit, good girl. That one's yours. And Dewey, come on. That's yours. Good boy. Before I get on with food, just for balance sake, it's not always possible to get everything you need from small businesses. So in this case, we popped into Sainsbury's in Blairgowrie because there was a few bits missing for tonight's dinner. So I picked up some Greek feta, which I'm just about to use, some red onion, also just about to use, some hot chili. You can see where I've had all this stuff here. This now needs to be cleaned. Some hot chili powder, which will be used for many different things, but primarily for spicing morning cacaos. These wraps, which again I needed for tonight's dinner. The reason I specifically needed to go to Sainsbury's is because you can see they are a whole blend organic, which is very difficult to find. You usually find half and half or white flour locally, which is a bit of a pain. And again, not everything is 100% pure, but we got these from the Polish section, which are the absolute best, my favourites. Okay, so for dinner we are having, well, breakfast wraps, but obviously not for breakfast. So I have baked some butcher sausages in the oven. Excuse all the mess on here, obviously I am cooking. I'm going to make a tomato salsa, which will be using up these Angos cherry tomatoes, red onion that I just picked up, a lemon, olive oil, and this little trockery coriander, which is doing very well, kept in the fridge from all that time ago. I think that was 2 vlogs ago. It's going to be used up. I usually use spinach, but I couldn't find any today, so I'm going to use this rainbow chard instead. It will do the same thing. I'm going to use some eggs, these wraps, and some mushrooms that we also picked up at the Barry box last time, which are doing very well. So yeah, I'm going to get cooking and I'll show you how it turns out.
Next day, as usual, I think this was a common theme from the last vlog. We were out during the day, got home, ate, and that was pretty much the end of us. So today is Sunday and we are making our regular stop at the Barry box because yesterday's market, I'm not sure if I said that actually, there wasn't a huge amount of produce. There was bits, but not massive amounts. So we've got some good things, but we still have gaps in our weekly shopping. So we're going to pop into the Barry box and yeah, fill in those gaps. Another very random stop. We stopped at a Peter Marshall's farm, but we actually didn't pick anything up because we had already done majority of what was on offer at the Barry box, but it was nice to stop in. And then we stopped for a little walk near Glen Isla because it was on our route back. Just a little one. Don't know how long that took us, probably about 30 minutes. Yeah, probably about 30 minutes. And we were just passing it's the Wandering Bear now. It used to be called the Wee Bear in Lintraithen, just opposite the lock, and we've decided to stop in there for a coffee.
I lie awake in the morning with a light upon her skin.
We are in now at that very brief stop at the Wandering Bear. It was really cool to see actually they have launched since my last visit some products, some own brand products. So they had things like coffee, they had some cooking glazes, they even had like quite a variety of coffee syrups, which is really interesting and nice to see. They also stock a lot of diddly squat products as well, which I haven't tried. I thought about buying it, but I tend to shop more kind of local brands, so yeah, I decided against it. But anyway, I'll show you a little overview of what I got from everywhere. Okay, so I only got two things from the Wandering Bear. I got these organic whole grain crackers. I do like to have crackers, rice cakes every now and then, just for something really easy to eat when I'm running low on time. And I also picked up, as I mentioned, one of the Wandering Bear products. So they had this glaze, which it says they use on their waffles, so they do really good food in there, and one of the best things is the sticky chicken waffles. I have lots of breadcrumbs that I need to use up, so I'm thinking this would be good for one meal this week with breaded chicken and this sticky glaze with sort of like a fried rice. I thought would make a good meal, so that's what I picked up from there. Barry box wise, you can see it's not a huge amount compared to usual. It's enough to get us through the week because we still had some odds and ends to use up. So this definitely was not an essential, but I've heard a bit about these honeyberries and actually that they are very good for topping on top of like breakfasts, yogurts, things like that. So these are freeze dried, and again I think that these are Forfa, so very local brand. So I thought that I would give those a go, and I actually noticed that they had honeyberry jam as well, so we picked that. If you watched the previous videos, you know that we picked these up last time as well, and they are now all gone, so we've restocked on those. Fresh produce wise, we got some pineapple mango. These are things that I don't often buy, but it's good to have variety in your diet of different fruits and vegetables, and I haven't had these in ages, so I wanted to pick these up. I got 2 clementines, again something that's really quick and easy, and you just need a quick sugar boost. Cucumber, we do have some cucumber left, but we are going through salads and things like that at the moment, so I thought we'll definitely need that during the week. We picked up the Angarsk mixed salad, so we really like to get these salad bags on a regular basis, and they do get used up here. I think I said yesterday we ended up picking up raspberries and strawberries from my local zero waste shop, which was Peter Marshall, and also got cherries from them as well. So blackberries was the only thing that we didn't have. We also got some grapes and some eggs, and as usual, our weekend pastries, and that is everything. I hope that you enjoyed this week's video and our weekend antics. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to see more like this, then please remember to subscribe. I realised that over the last few weeks we've shared a lot of what we bought in the farm shops, and I tend to vlog on the weekends, but the food tends to be turned into meals during the week. So if you would like me to capture bits during the week and just share some ideas, recipe ideas, food ideas for how we use what we buy, then please do let me know in the comments down below if that is something that you would be interested in. And as always, recommendations for places to visit are always welcome. So that is it for this video, and hopefully we'll see you next time.